I am Giorgio Atsukalos from Ancient Aliens. Ask me anything. Hello everybody. You might know me from my work on the show Ancient Aliens, or from various memes online. I am also the founder of Legendary Times Books, and I'm very excited to share that an all-new season of Ancient Aliens will be starting tonight on History at 9/8c, and you can catch up online, on the History app, or on demand. How do you feel about the trucker that accidentally drove through over the Nazca lines a few months ago? When I came across that news story, I actually screamed out loud at my screen. What? To this day, I cannot imagine what that guy was thinking and how he ever ended up in the sand with his truck. You of all people should understand, the truck driver was put in a position he wasn't qualified for. The guy was probably labeled an expert when he was actually just an idiot, and allowed to conduct his work because it brought profit to some corporate conglomerate, even though his incompetence and bullshit was horrible for society. Screamed out loud at my screen. Cannot imagine. I know how you feel. I have the same reaction every time I see your show on TV. Irresponsible on so many levels. You guys gonna answer the rest of the questions yet? Frankly, I feel like we deserve an answer as to why you choose to make the world collectively dumber. I love the meme. I had nothing to do with it, but I think it's great and it illustrates the love and enthusiasm that people worldwide have for the show and the topic. I find it all hysterical. The meme grew very organically. I love that people use it whenever something mysterious happens or there are open questions or something bizarre happens, even though I have to say I have never publicly said that the answer to all open-ended question is aliens. The words of the main villain of the meme have never crossed my lips. Laughs. It illustrates the love and enthusiasm that people worldwide have for making fun of your crazy ass. Clearly you don't understand that the meme was created to mock you and your pseudoscience. You must have smoked too much weed while watching Stargate and thought you were actually Daniel Jackson. What made you believe in aliens? When I was a little boy, my grandmother, who was a devout Catholic, thought it was a great idea to read different bedtime stories to me, and from time to time she would read Edgar Case's Atlantis and also Chariots of the Gods. And then, about 6 to 8 years later, I rediscovered the books by Erich von Däniken, and I devoured his books, and I was very intrigued by his ideas and concepts. So, I have to thank my grandmother for planting the initial seed. So, from reading fiction, basically, you read some cool fiction and you wished it was real, so you decided to dedicate your life to proving it is, when it clearly isn't? Great job. How do you respect the works of Däniken when they're based off of the works of Zichin, who was already dismissed as a fraud by the time you were old enough to read? This is interesting because I grew up reading The Lord of the Rings and have since dedicated my life to proving hobbits are real. Do you own a shirt with your face on it? Yes, I sell them. Of course you do. What is your best evidence of aliens existing? I don't think that there is one single piece of evidence that I prefer as the best. However, it is a collection of all the circumstantial evidence that the ancient astronaut theory has collected over the past decades. I don't think that there is one single piece of evidence. Fixed it for you. Translated, I just like money, so I present you with pseudoscience. Our team goes through great lengths to make sure that the topics presented on Ancient Aliens are thoroughly vetted, and the one thing that sets Ancient Aliens apart from many other shows is that the opinions of various experts are not edited to follow a specific agenda. Therefore, I encourage the viewers themselves to go out there and conduct their own research by reading books and other materials so that everyone can form their own opinions. You should really get your team a library card or internet access. I stopped watching your show because it only takes 30 seconds on Google to find out you've mischaracterized or outright lied about something. Lol, you liar, can't even tell the difference between andesite and sandstone. Your documentary is full of these lies. Your team couldn't vet a piece of shit if you laid it yourself. Do you believe time travel is possible? Can humans achieve time travel? Great question. While I do think that in the far and distant future time travel may be possible, one issue that is rarely discussed when talking about time travel is the question of energy requirements. It is a statistical fact that the energy requirements for fueling a spaceship that can travel from star to star is infinitely less than the fuel requirements needed for powering up a time travel machine. Therefore, personally, I think that before we will master time travel, we will have long colonized the rest of our galaxy. It is a statistical fact that the energy requirements for fueling a spaceship that can travel from star to star is infinitely less than the fuel requirements needed for powering up a time travel machine. Powering a time travel machine, I'm thinking of Napoleon Dynamite when he hooks the time travel machine up to his balls. This guy is full of it. Care to share your design for the time machine? Obviously you have its energy requirements memorized. 1.21 gigawatts is not out of the realm of possibility. Hey man, huge fan. I was wondering, do you personally think aliens provided us with knowledge and technology, and if so, what do you think their end goal is? I think the most valuable thing in the universe is the transfer of knowledge. So it is almost self-explanatory that once we as a human species travel to another planet, that we pass on our knowledge to a lesser technologically advanced society. So the end game throughout the universe is the transfer and expansion of knowledge. It's so ironic to claim to value transfer of knowledge like you claim and then vomit bullshit on people all day with fake science. You are scum. If the transfer of knowledge is so important to you, why do you peddle in bullshit?